Hi, Miss Nisma. It's been a really long time.
Yes, I missed you so much, guys. All right. Okay, Limar.
Yes. Right.
Right what? Atrium or ventricle?
Ventricle.
No, the upper room.
Oh, sorry. Atrium, sorry.
Right, atrium. And what about this one? This is supposed to be easy now.
Right ventricle.
Yes, right ventricle. Okay. Ruqayya.
Yes, miss.
Okay, what is this? This is the entrance of the blood to the left side of your yes, the left side of your heart. The entrance of the blood. It's not a room, it's the entrance.
Left atrium.
It's not a room. It's not a room.
Left ventricle.
Oh dear God. Not a room. Not a room. Right and left is only for rooms. This is the entrance of the blood. It should be, no.
I don't know.
Oh God. Okay.
Can I say?
Yes, please.
Aorta.
No, the aorta is this one. This is the aorta. Okay, we're going to write it right here. Aorta. This is the aorta.
The
Pulmonary what? If you have an artery, the aorta is an artery. So the other one must be a vein. If you have vein, yes, exactly. Each side have one artery and one vein. Each side have one artery and one vein. Okay? So the aorta is this part which gets the blood out of the left side of your heart. So the pulmonary vein is this part which enter the blood into your heart, into your the right side of your heart. Okay, what about this one, Ruqayya? The door in between the two rooms.
Wall.
Did I say wall?
No.
I did not mention a wall at all. I said there is a door called what? Look at just give us 1 second, Yasin. You're looking and you're saying those answers while you're looking. Yasin, go. Yasin Abdul Hamid. Yasin, are you there? Yasin. It is valve, yes. Yes, it is valve, yes. And what about the part that divides the heart into two halves? It's not written here. Septum, okay? What about this one? This is the entrance of the blood into the right side of your heart. And this is the exit. So what should we call this? Let me make it easier for you. This is the vena cava. So what is this? This is a vein called vena cava. So what will be this? Anyone? Yes, Yasin. Yasin, yes, Yasin. Yasin Abdul Hamid.
The pulmonary artery.
Artery, very good. The pulmonary artery. Thank you so much. Pulmonary artery. Okay, I know, guys, that it will take some time, but please, I want you to be a little bit awake with me. Okay? I repeated it for like 100 times. I repeated it for like 100 times. All right. Now, Miss, you told us all of the parts and we don't know any of them. It's fine, no problem. No, now how can or how is that related to the job of the heart? How will all of the things that you just said help with the movement of the blood inside the heart? Okay. By the way, guys, this is a real heart. And I will show you another one that is really icky.
Looks so slimy.
And this is your real heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the whale's heart is so big?
Yes, it is. Okay. Now, let me tell you what is the trip. Let me tell you about the journey of your heart. We're going to tell stories right now. What is the journey of the blood into and out of our heart, Miss? All right, guys, let me tell you this interesting story. Okay, so the first thing that happens is that we have two types of blood. Okay, we have deoxygenated blood. What do you think? The deoxygenated blood, the ones that contains oxygen or that doesn't have oxygen in it?
Doesn't have oxygen.
It doesn't have, yes, it doesn't have oxygen in it. And this is why we resemble it with the blue color. Blue color means that it doesn't have oxygen in it, okay? But the red color means that it has oxygen to it, all right? Okay, so first we're going to start with the deoxygenated blood. The deoxygenated blood, yes?
How does the heart get blood?
How does the heart get blood? Do you mean where does the blood come from? First place?
Yes.
Well, you have something in your back, in the bones of your back, your backbone, and inside all of your bones actually, but it's mainly in the back of your bone that has something called the bone marrow. The bone marrow is responsible for producing the blood cells that makes your blood. Okay. Now let's talk about the journey. Okay. First, the deoxygenated blood. The deoxygenated blood, which is the blood that does not contain oxygen, enters the right side of your heart from the vena cava. This is the vena cava. So this is where the deoxygenated blood, the blood that does not have any oxygen in it, gets into your right side of your heart. From the vena cava into the upper room in the right side of your heart, which we call what? What is the name of the upper room in the right side of your heart? Right atrium. Right atrium. Again, Ruqayya, a room. We start with right or left. If we're talking about a room, we're starting with right or left. Okay? So the vena cava is the entrance of the deoxygenated blood into the right side of your heart. So it comes from the vena cava into the upper room of the right side of your heart, which we call the right atrium. Okay, and then what happens? The right atrium will contract. It will like press to get the blood out of it into the lower room of the right side of your heart, which we call what? The lower room in the right side of your heart is called right ventricle. Right ventricle. Very good. So let's start from the beginning. The deoxygenated blood will get from the vena cava. It will enter from the vena cava into the upper room of the right side of your heart, which we call right atrium. And then the right atrium will contract to move the blood from it to the lower room in your the right side of your heart, which we call the right ventricle. Okay? Then what happens, miss? Then the right side, the right ventricle will contract to push the blood out of the heart through the pulmonary artery. Okay, so the right ventricle will also contract to push the blood out of the heart through the pulmonary artery. Okay, guys, I will give you a small hint. All right, any word that has, any statement that has the word pulmonary means that it is going to the lungs or coming from the lungs. So this means that the heart, the right ventricle, pushed the blood from the heart out of the pulmonary artery to go where?
The lung.
To the lungs. And since this is a deoxygenated blood, why does it want to go to the lungs?
To get oxygen.
To get oxygen. Excellent, Najat. Very good. Excellent. Okay, so again, the deoxygenated blood will get from the vena cava into the right atrium, and from the right atrium into the left atrium. From the right atrium into the right ventricle, and from the right ventricle it will shoot out of the heart through the pulmonary artery. Why? Because the pulmonary artery will get this deoxygenated blood into the lungs. Why? To fill up with oxygen. To fill up with oxygen. Okay? So this is half of the journey. Do you understand this half?
Yes.
Is this half clear? All right,
yes.
Everyone? Okay. Yes. Now this is the first half. It went to the lungs. Okay? And if you remember from the respiratory system, the gas exchange will happen in this particular stage. This is where the gas exchange will happen. Okay, it will go to near the alveoli wall to fill up with oxygen. Okay, and then now comes the other half of the heart, the role of the other half of the heart. It will get back to the heart full of oxygen, and this is why we turned the color red. It was blue, we turned it red because it went to the lungs and got loaded with oxygen, and now it's ready to go all over the body. Okay, so it will get into the left side of the heart from where? From the pulmonary vein. So it entered the right side from the vena cava, which is a vein, and it will enter the left side of the heart from also a vein called a pulmonary vein. Okay, into what? Into the upper room of the left side of your heart, which we call the left atrium. Okay, and then from the left atrium will contract and push the blood into the left ventricle. It will push the blood into the left ventricle, and then the left ventricle will also contract to shoot the blood or to push the blood out of the heart through the what? The aorta. Okay, again, the blood will come from the lungs through the pulmonary vein. This is how it will get to the left side of my heart, into the upper room of the left side of my heart, which I call left atrium. And then the left atrium will push the blood out of it into the left ventricle. And then the left ventricle will push the blood out of the heart through the aorta. My question is, the oxygenated blood shooted out of the heart to go where?
Inside the blood.
It is a blood. How will it move inside the blood? What?
Inside the heart.
No, no, no.
What's
It is inside the heart. It's going to get out of the heart to go where? The oxygenated blood. What?
The lungs.
Lungs, why? The lungs, we already took the oxygen from the lungs.
Oh, yes, it will go to our nose.
What?
Miss, this will come in the exam, right?
Yeah, I said that before, yes.
Yeah,
Guys, the oxygenate, okay, seriously, guys. The oxygenated blood got out of the heart. Where should it go?
In the veins.
Who needs the oxygen?
The lung.
In your entire body.
The organs.
Yes, the organs of your entire body. And this is where the blood, the oxygenated blood, it will get out of the aorta to be distributed into the whole body to give the oxygen away and take the waste from the organs. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, after giving the oxygen away to the whole body, will it be oxygenated or deoxygenated?
Deoxygenated.
It will be, yes, it will be deoxygenated again because it gave all the oxygen into your entire organs. And then it will repeat the trip again. After giving the oxygen to the organs, now the blood is deoxygenated. It will get back to the heart through the vena cava, into your right atrium, into your right ventricle, into the pulmonary artery, back to the pulmonary vein, then to the left atrium, to the left ventricle, to the aorta, and so on. Do you get it, guys?
Yes, but
Yes.
how the heart does all of that in 1 second?
Well, this is something that God created. It is a very powerful muscle, and your whole circulatory system, not only the heart, your whole circulatory system works not in 1 second, in a part of second. It can do all of this in a part of second that you cannot even bring it together in your brain, because our brain is used to us doing everything really slowly. So of course you will not be able to understand this. All of us, not you specifically, Noor, all of us will not even imagine it until you see it. If some of you become a doctor, and specifically a heart doctor, you will see it yourself. Okay? So let's...
How you are going to see the heart moving?
You will be able to do it if you are in this situation. Okay, so now let's start all over again. Deoxygenated blood gets into the right side of your heart from the vena cava into the upper room of your right side of your heart, which we call the right atrium. The right atrium will push the deoxygenated blood into the right ventricle. The right ventricle will push the deoxygenated blood out of your heart through the pulmonary artery to get it to the lungs so that it can load itself with oxygen. Then after that, it will get back to the left side of your heart through the pulmonary vein into the left atrium. Then the left atrium will push the oxygenated blood to the left ventricle. Then the left ventricle will shoot the oxygenated blood out of your heart through the aorta to make a complete circulation around your body, to give the oxygen away to all of your organs and take the waste. Now your blood became deoxygenated again. It will get back to the blood through the vena cava into the right atrium, the right ventricle, pulmonary artery, lungs, pulmonary vein, left atrium, left ventricle, aorta. Is it clear? Hello? Anyone?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Okay. You can rewatch this session like several times, and believe me, you will feel like it is easy. I know it's a little bit you're overwhelmed right now, but if you just arrange the information in your head, it will become really easy. And if you want to write it down, all of the things that I'm saying, it will be even easier for you after that. Okay? So we talked about the parts of the heart. We talked about the trip of the blood in your heart and out of your heart. Now we are going to talk about the roads that connects all of these things together. You can imagine that inside your body you have traffic going on, okay? And the roads that controls this traffic are the arteries, the veins, and the capillaries. Those are the three main types of blood vessels inside your body. Those are the roads that the blood, whether oxygenated or deoxygenated, flow inside your body, okay? The first type are called the arteries. The arteries are the roads that carry the oxygenated blood. The oxygenated blood is carried inside the arteries. They move inside the arteries, okay? The arteries are a very, very large. They have thick walls and they are very elastic, okay? You can imagine the artery is like a main road. It's like a high-speed road, like Salah Salim, for example. Do you know Salah Salim? This is an artery.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay. So the artery is very large. It has a thick wall and thick and elastic walls, and it carry oxygenated blood. The blood inside the arteries move due to the heart or the high pressure that the heart perform on the blood. What does that mean, miss? It means that once the heart contract and push the blood out of it, this is what makes the blood move inside the artery. This high or very strong pressure that the heart get the blood out of it by it. This is what makes it's like someone you're moving really slowly and someone gave you a push to move quickly. This is how the blood moves inside the arteries. Okay, so those are the arteries. What about the veins? The veins are a little bit smaller. They have thin walls and they carry the deoxygenated blood. They carry the deoxygenated blood. The veins are more like whoever lives in maybe Medinat Nasr, whoever lives there, it's like Abbas Al-Aad or Mustafa Nahas. It's not as wide as Salah Salim. It's a little bit smaller, okay? So veins have thin walls which carry deoxygenated blood, and the blood moves inside them not by the high pressure of the heart, no. It moves inside them by the valves. Valves like doors that open and close to push the blood. It's like what? It's like if you are moving in like a corridor or something, and you are trying to reach the door of your class before they close it. So you go quickly to get into the class before they close the door behind you. No one will get out of the class now, and no one else will get inside until the end of the session, when we open the door again and you can go back and forth as much as you can. So those are the things that controls the movement of the blood inside the vein, the valves, the doors that closes behind the blood or open so the new blood can come through the vein. Okay, do you understand?
Yes.
All right, so the arteries are like very high-speed road. They have thick and elastic walls. They carry the oxygenated blood, and the blood moves inside them by high pressure. The veins have thin walls. They carry deoxygenated blood, and the blood moves inside them by valves. The valves is the one that controls the movement of the blood inside the veins. Okay, what about the capillaries, miss? The capillaries are like the very small roads that connects between the high-speed roads and the other roads. It's like when you are going into your the road that your house is in. So you're walking in the main road, or you're driving in the main road, and you get like, you turn right or turn left to a much smaller road that connects between the main roads. Those are the capillaries. And they carry both the oxygenated and deoxygenated. Okay, they are like the small roads that connects between the arteries and the veins. Okay, they are very small to the point that only one cell can move through them at a time. Do you see how they get like really squished inside the capillary? This is a red blood cell.
Miss, why the body cells is
This
the
thing
golden?
make me أشعر.
Okay, again, Noor, what's the what?
Why the body cells is golden?
No, dear, this is, we just did not color the rest so that we can show you the red blood cell. Okay, but of course it doesn't have this color. All right, now guys, I have a tricky question for you. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Are you? Tricky question. Who's on?
ممكن أنا.
Okay. What did I tell you about the arteries? It carries what? Which type of blood?
Red.
Which is the oxygenated blood, right? Arteries, mute your mics, please, mute your mics, please. Arteries carry oxygenated blood, except one artery. Okay, let me help you. There is only one artery that carries deoxygenated blood. This is not going to come in the exam. This is something for fun. Now I will get you this picture and I want you to tell me all of the arteries carry oxygenated blood except one artery.
Can I guess?
Yes?
Yes, I know. Pulmonary artery.
Except what?
The pulmonary artery.
Pulmonary artery. Thank you. And Yassine, you were going to say the same thing?
Yes.
Yes, pulmonary artery is the only artery that will carry deoxygenated blood. Okay, this is, guys, is not again going to come in the exam. This is something that just to refresh your brain a little bit. So all of the arteries carry oxygenated blood except the pulmonary artery. And another tricky question. It's not now tricky because you got the idea. All of the veins carry deoxygenated blood except
Vena cava vein.
no, the vena cava is a vein and it is carrying a deoxygenated blood. This is totally normal. Pulmonary vein, yes, exactly. The pulmonary vein is the only vein that carry oxygenated blood. Okay, so all of the arteries carry oxygenated blood except the pulmonary artery, and all of the veins carry deoxygenated blood except the pulmonary vein. Okay, all right. So now, do you get the blood vessels? Do you know the differences between them? You have three types: arteries and veins and capillaries. The arteries have thick and elastic walls. They carry oxygenated blood, and the blood moves inside them with high pressure. The veins they have thin walls. They carry deoxygenated blood, and they contain valves which controls the movement of the blood inside them. Okay, and the capillaries are like the small roads that connects between the arteries and the veins, and they are very thin, and they have the smallest diameter to the point that only one cell can pass through them at a time. Okay, is it clear?
Yes.
All right. Now, what I'm going to, yes, we're going to talk now. We have like 8 minutes maybe left, right? Or maybe less. We have 6 minutes left. 6 minutes left. In those 6 minutes, we're going to talk about the blood cells. We already know them. We already know them, and we already know what are their job and everything. So we're just going to repeat what we just said about them. So we know that the blood contains a liquid and some cells. The liquid which carries those cells is called what? What is the name of the liquid that carries the blood cells? Hello? Anyone?
Yes.
Yes, what is the name of the liquid which carries all the blood cells?
Plasma.
Yes, plasma. Plasma is the liquid that carries all the blood cells. All right. Now, what are the blood cells that are carried by the plasma? You have the red blood cells, which gives the blood its color. The red blood cells. What?
And white blood cells.
Why the blood cells? What?
From the cells.
I don't understand. Is that a question, or are you telling us something?
Yeah, Miss, you said that the red blood cell is from one of the cells, and the other one, it must be the white blood cell.
Oh, you're saying the white blood cells? Is that what you're saying? Because I couldn't hear you. You have red blood cells, and you have the white blood cells, and you have the platelets. Red blood cells, white blood cells, and the platelets. Those are the blood cells that swim in the plasma. Each one of those cells is responsible for or has its own job. The first thing is the red blood cells. The red blood cells is designed to carry the oxygen around. And this is why it looks like a pillow. It looks like a round pillow, and it has this depressed part in the middle so that it can carry the oxygen on it. Okay? All right. So the red blood cells is the one responsible for carrying around the oxygen. What about the white blood cells? The white blood cells are the white blood cells is responsible for your immunity. This is your defense system. This is what gets or kills any viruses or bacteria or any foreign substances that gets into your body. So this is the one that you can resemble them as the army. They defend your body against anything that wants harm to your body. So those are the white blood cells. What about the platelets? The platelets are supposed to be there in order if you got injured, your skin got injured, it runs to the part that you have injured, that you got injured in, and they start to form this crust. This crust is supposed to stop the bleeding. This is number one. Number two, protect the injury from any bacteria or dust or anything that could come from the surrounding air into your skin and may harm the injury, or it may cause any bad stuff to your skin. Okay, so this is simply what the blood is made of. The plasma does not only carry the blood cells, it also has a job. And the job of the plasma that it contains all the nutrients that your body needs. So if there are any minerals or vitamins or anything that you got into your body from the digestive system, this is the plasma is the one that carries all of those stuff and give it to the rest of your organs. All right, guys? Huh? Is it clear so far? Huh?
Yes.
Okay. So of course, those things, the shapes and everything about the white blood cells and red blood cells, I don't want you to exhaust your brain with them. We are not going, and for the people who are asking me, are these things coming in the exam and stuff like that? Believe me, I am assuring you, your exam will be very easy. And this, I give you my word, guys. You will be able to answer it very well. Don't worry about this. It is going to be easy, but that doesn't mean that you should not study. Of course, you have to study. Okay? But I can assure you that the exam will be very easy. All right? I'm not going to get any of the complicated stuff.
Really, very easy.
No, I swear. I'm telling you.
Perfect.
Okay, yes, you have my word. It is going to be very easy. And in any of the parts that you are confused in, whether in the respiratory or in the circulatory system, I will get maybe one question about it that has only 1 mark over it. And it will be easy. There is nothing hard about it.
Okay.
Okay? Okay.
Now we have
So you have to go, yes. But Najat, I'm very sorry. I have to give you homework. I am very sorry because we did not answer anything in the class. We just
But we were responding, yeah, Miss.
okay, it's fine, but I'm sorry. You have to get the so that we can finish the book.
That's not 2 pages, طيب, yeah, Miss. Only 1.
Miss, we have only 7 pages left.
Yeah, I know. You're going to do some of them at home, and then we're going to do the rest next week. Okay? We're just going like divided.
Okay.
Some on me and
You're
some on
going
you.
to give us page 49 and 30?
Let me make it a surprise.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Bye.
I'll see you next week. We will be done with this lesson next week, and then we will revise over everything. I will make you a very good revision PowerPoint. Okay? All right. I'll see you next week. Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.